Hi guys, today we're going to look at a few different ways that you could do repeating patterns using Canva. The first and simplest way is if you simply buy the pattern somewhere else, such as Creative Fabrica, and use Canva to make the pattern repeat. So this square here, this is actually a repeating pattern and it's free at the moment from Creative Fabrica using the link in the description below. So I thought I'd use it to illustrate how we can repeat a pattern on Canva. I'll just delete this. We've already got the pattern, so you can simply duplicate it, set it exactly beside the next one, duplicate again, bring it down here, duplicate again. Because we're starting from a square, it's all lining up nicely. To repeat it more, you would just select them all, make it smaller. I'm trying to make it take up a quarter of the square so it's easily repeatable. We'll duplicate that. You can see the pattern emerging. You have to be careful to line it up correctly or there'll be little white lines between it all, but I'm just showing you quickly. That's quite cute. To get this particular square, you can find the link in the description below and you will end up coming to a window that looks like this. So you can see that you can download it for free. Once I downloaded it, I uploaded it to Canva just by dropping the image into here. You can go to Uploads and Upload File. Or you can just drop the image in and it should upload into Canva. For more patterns, you can go to Creative Fabrica and type in seamless patterns or something similar and see what comes up. And there you go, you've got a whole range of seamless patterns. So there's one simple way to do it, but let's look into some more Canva based ways. In Canva we can search elements over here on the left, and we'll search tiling pattern, go to graphics, and you can see there's a bunch of designs here. That you can duplicate and create a whole design from. Repeating designs like this are great for creating digital papers, book covers for KDP journals, and many print-on-demand products. So we'll just search seamless pattern quickly. And there's a lot more to choose from. Ones without a background like this, you can actually change the background color to whatever you like and it changes the whole look of things. So we'll just duplicate that a few times so you can see it. There you go, quite a cute pattern. Bring it up here. And last we'll look at geometric patterns. I just had to cut out a little bit there due to very bad background noise. Sorry, my microphone picks up everything. But I did search quickly geometric pattern and it came up with a lot of non-repeating patterns. So we're just going to search now repeating geometric patterns. And try again. There we go, that one repeats. And that's how you can create a repeating pattern using patterns that already exist in Elements. One more thing to think about when you're using repeating patterns from Elements is that some of them you can change the colors on. So if you don't like the yellow, you could go, you could change it to a different color, and the color of the crosses you could change to something else. Not every element can be changed like this, but if it comes up with a color choice up here, then you can certainly change it to however you like. And you could try out a couple of different variations of colors. And if you want to create multiple patterns, you can duplicate the page and change it for each page. So I'll just do that once. So we can say, if you liked this pattern, you can go to the Format Painter or copy the style and select all of the rest. Format Painter again. And down here we could say we liked this style, so we're going to copy it and we're going to select all of these. So now it's done. That makes things a bit quicker. Next we'll look at an AI generator quickly. So if we go over to Apps, and I've already searched Patterned AI, so let's open this one and we'll see what we can do with it. So I might try to do a pattern that might look good in a child's nursery. So a nursery design with a pink background. And let's just see, we might get it to create a few so we can see. I just have to connect quickly. This is the first time I've used this app. Okay, I've finished signing up now and it's brought me back to here. So let's generate the pattern. But before we do, I just want you to see that it says you have 20 credits left. So this is obviously limited in the amount of copies you'll be able to make for free. So generate pattern. So here's the examples that it came up with for that prompt. They all appear to be floral patterns. You can zoom in, have a closer look, and let's try adding one to the design. We'll make it smaller. Now this is already a very small print, but let's just see how. We'll select both of those, make it larger so we can see how well it lined up. So it didn't line up exactly, but it does look like a repeating pattern, so we'll just try find the matching. Yeah, there it is, the matching part, and we could line it up that way. Now if you can't line it up exactly, you can press Control while you're moving it and it will stop, it'll let you move it wherever you want without clicking into place. Once we've got that lined up, it's now a repeating pattern again. So that's one way to do it, but obviously with AI you're not going to necessarily get a great image every time, and that used 4 credits, so it's 1 credit per design by the looks of it. Next, let's look at how to make a repeating pattern using rows. For this design, I've selected these images that I also got from Creative Fabrica. I find that there is such a range of different styles and beautiful designs there. So I've been using it a lot more lately. And again, if you're interested in checking it out, you can see my affiliate link in the description. So I think for this one, I might just create an individual row made of each animal. We'll duplicate the crocodile. And I think 4 of each will be good. And we'll duplicate the lion, Bring him down here. Don't worry too much about how they're spaced at the moment because we will fix that up later. I'm going to have to make it much smaller to fit them all in. So we'll duplicate these guys. We could have done all of that together. And then the elephant, duplicate, and you can also press Control D. The elephant's a bit wider than the rest, so there's only 7 of him. We'll deal with that in a minute. So let's get the hippo and duplicate him. So Control D and bring him across here. And we'll go Control D again. And then I think we might repeat these guys as well. Oh, no, we won't, because if we do that, we're going to have 2 rows directly above each other of exactly the same thing. So we'll get rid of one of those. And we might just keep this row nice and small and make these ones larger to fill the space. Bring it across. So don't worry that some are hanging over, we'll fix that up in a second. Now the reason we didn't worry about how messy they are is because we're going to go and select a row at a time, go to Position, go to Arrange, and go to Tidy Up. I'm going to tidy up these guys. They're already tidy, and so are they. So we can select a whole row and get them nicely spaced. We'll get rid of the one on the end here. So we'll get it to where we want it so that it's roughly equally spread out, and then we're going to tidy it up again. There we go. And then with these ones, we're going to center the lion. So you'll know when you're at the center because it'll kind of catch there and a pink line will show up, a pink solid line. And then we'll center the one on this side. So where's that pink line? Oh, it's not, there we go. And then we'll tidy these up again. When they're tidy, they're all perfectly spaced out between the 2 furthest points. So they should be lined up now so that when they're side by side, this half will match up with that half. With the elephants, I think we'll just get rid of this guy. And we'll space it nicely between the lions. We'll put it a little bit closer to the edge because once it's side by side, there'll be this space plus that space. Let's tidy that up. Get rid of this guy. And tidy that up. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a quick look over and make sure that this gap plus this gap is going to be similar to that gap. And that will do. Maybe I'll bring these guys in a bit, and always remember to tidy up once you've done that to respace everything. I know these ones will be right because they're exactly half, so they'll meet up exactly halfway. That gap plus that gap is probably a little bit big, so I'll just bring it out a little and select them all again, tidy up, and here we'll just bring this a little closer to the crocodile. Well, he will be closer to the crocodile once he's side by side, and position, tidy up. Okay, and finally we'll just group these rows, and then we'll do the tidy up for all of the rows. We'll bring this one down to where we want it. Making sure there's going to be a bit of a gap between this one and this one. So we'll bring it just a bit of a gap, and then we'll grab everything, tidy up. Now the rows are evenly spaced. So the next step is we're going to download this page as a JPEG or a PNG. So we'll note that it's page 4. We'll go over here to share, download, and I'm going to select PNG, and I'm going to select transparent background, which is a paid feature, but if you have a transparent background, then you can change the background color behind it, like we did for the cat example previously. So we'll select transparent background, and not all pages, we only want page 4. So page 4, and we'll download that. So that's gone to my downloads, which I'll bring here, and I'll just drop it, and it's downloading. Here it is. So we'll, and you can see it's transparent, you can see everything past it. We'll create a new page, and we'll grab it and drag it down to that page. Then we will just start repeating that pattern. And I think that turned out okay. If you think the gaps are a bit too big, like that might be a little bit big, and this one might be a little bit big, you can go back and fix up your original pattern. Now I just want to show you quickly why we grouped those rows before we pressed tidy up, because if it was ungrouped and we went to tidy up, it would try to tidy every individual image to be equally spaced. So let's see what happens when we do that. It's not how we wanted it to look. So we'll undo that. So we'll just repeat that. This one would probably be nicer on a rectangular design where you can have nice long rows. And of course something like this would be cute on a child's item. Next, let's look at a simple design. I've already put this one together because it probably wouldn't have been too entertaining to watch me create it, but I just went to Elements, and I searched for whales. I just thought that might be something nice. See all. Then I selected one of these images, and I'll just bring it down here so it's not so messy for you. Then it comes up with magic recommendations. Press see all there, and you'll hopefully get similar designs, and each time you click on one, it should recommend similar designs. So I just selected a bunch of images that I thought went nicely together and put them out around the page how I liked, changed their sizes, duplicate, put them somewhere else, change the size to fill in any gaps, and spin them around a bit so they've got different orientations, just so it doesn't look so flat and repeating. You can flip it so it looks a bit different, and yeah, the combination of flipping, resizing, and changing the direction, rotating, just makes it seem more interesting. So here's the final design. I added some starfish to fill in anywhere where there were particularly big gaps. Now, the reason this one will repeat nicely is because there's nothing overhanging the edges. That's what makes it a simple design. And again, this is page 6, so go to Share, Download, PNG with transparent background, and make sure you're not selecting all pages. We just want page 6. Done. Now it's saying you're saving $10 thanks to Canva Pro. So the price of printing up all of these elements would be $10 if I didn't have Canva Pro. So if you wanted to use free elements, I won't download that right now because I've already done it. If you wanted to use free elements, so it doesn't cost you to download it, when you search, we'll go back to the whales and we'll filter the search by price free. And then it should bring up all the free designs. Obviously you have a lot more options if you choose Pro. And you'll know which ones are the Pro designs because they will have a crown next to them. So any designs with a crown are paid elements. So we downloaded that design. And here it is. So then it's just a matter of duplicating it. And because all of the elements are within the square shape, nothing will be cut off, but you will start to kind of see the repeating pattern a bit more obviously than if you allow some of the elements to cross that boundary. So I'll show you that one next. On the other hand, though, you can, with this particular design where we've spun some of the elements around and changed it up, you can flip things so it's not exactly repeating, and change it up a little to perhaps make it look a little bit different. So next we'll use the same elements, but we will make them break through the borders so that there's no obvious square that you can outline and see, oh yes, there's the pattern repeating over and over again. So let's start by bringing an element out over the edge, and we'll do what we did with that lion earlier. We'll get it to go halfway, like that. And then we're going to press Alt or Option and drag it to make a copy of it. And we can bring it all the way over here and try line it up again. It has to line up exactly. So those 3 lines should come to show you where, or come up to show you how to place it. Plus we need to get halfway there. So that should be pretty good. The other option is when we press Alt or Option and drag it, we can then press Shift, and Shift should stop you from being able to move it up or down. It's staying right in line. Bring it across to here. So we'll just delete that one. Now this jellyfish is overlapping. We don't really want it to overlap, or it'll look a little messy. Plus, it'll become more obvious that the design is repeating because you'll see those overlapped elements again and again. So I'll just bring it to fill in this gap from where we moved the fish. Now we might do the same thing with this turtle here. Might make him a little bit larger and bring him halfway till that pink line shows up, that solid pink line, there it is. And then we'll press Alt to copy it by dragging it, and then Shift. Shift's going to stop me from being able to move it out of alignment. We'll bring it up here till it's halfway. Okay, now that we've lined them up perfectly, we can actually move them a little bit so it's not exactly half here and exactly half there. First we're going to select both of them, so that one's selected, press Shift and click on this one. Now no matter where we move them, they're always that exactly perfectly lined up, so if his little fins go over down the bottom, they come up through the top. And I think that's a pretty good position right there. Now we might just change this one to fill in that gap a little better. And let's choose 2 more elements to cross that line. I might make this one just a little bigger and have his tail cross the line. Just a little bigger than that. Okay, that's pretty good. So I'm going to line it up to the center, then Alt, drag, and Shift to keep it lined up. Find the middle over this side, and then we'll do Shift click. Now I've got both of them, they're lined up. I'll bring it back where I wanted it. Now just the tail is out of the boundary a little bit, and it comes back near the dolphin here. So we'll move the dolphin out of the way, maybe make it a bit smaller. And I might just do this turtle as well, because it would be a good thing to fill in this gap here and this gap over here. So we're going to press Alt and start pulling him out, Shift, or did I line it up properly? Shift, bring it across till it's halfway. And that's actually pretty good, that spacing. So one more element I wanted to do was this star here. Now if you do an element in the corner, you're going to need all of the corners lined up. So you need a solid pink line on the bottom, and then the midpoint should be at exactly the corner there. So let's try get that lined up. That looks about right. We'll duplicate that and get the midpoint here. It's a little bit tricky. Duplicate again to this corner. Duplicate again into this corner. So hopefully that worked okay. Now let's try download that one and see how this pattern repeats. So we go to Share, Download, PNG with a transparent background, that way we can change the background. If you don't have a paid account, obviously you can do it without the transparent background. You'll just have a solid white background or whatever background you choose right now. So if you want to change the background color, you need to do it now. To whatever you like. So we'll go back, Share, Download, PNG. If you wanted to do JPEG, you could change it here. But we're doing PNG with a transparent background, and we want page 8. So just page 8. Done. Again, it costs $10 to download this page. It's not costing me that because I have a paid account, so I just pay once a year, and it's much less than $10 every time you want to download. So let's grab that one and bring it here. It's downloading or uploading. And now I'll grab it and bring it in here. Or I can just click on it. And here we go. Duplicate. Duplicate. Oops, I duplicated the page. We'll select both of them, duplicate, bring it down, and you can see in the corner how we got all 4 quarters of that starfish lined up. Now, no matter where you look, you cannot find a perfectly square outline of these elements. So let's compare that to the previous pattern that we had here, where everything was inside the square, and see if one looks better than the other. So you can see there's just something a little more natural looking about the seamless pattern where we broke the boundaries compared to the one that stayed inside the square. I just thought of a couple of last minute things. So with the background, there's more variety than just a solid coloured background. So you could choose to have an image in the background to make it more beachy or however you'd like it, or you could choose a gradient. So I've typed in gradients here so that you can see different gradients. That's quite pretty, something like that. And as you can see, I mustn't have saved this one as a transparent background, so it's white because the background was white when I saved it. Other than that, of course, when you're copying things, you could use keyboard shortcuts. Control or Command C and Control or Command V work in Canva, and Canva actually has a lot of keyboard shortcuts. I've actually made a printable booklet where you can print up over 80 of Canva's keyboard shortcuts if you want to see more of what you can do on Canva with shortcuts. And I'll leave a link to that in the description below. And one last thing I wanted to mention was the size of your file. For today's video, I've just used an Instagram square as the design size. But if I was wanting to use this for a design on a, say, a print-on-demand product, and to put it on Redbubble or something like that, then I would want to make my design square a lot larger, maybe 3000 by 3000 pixels, maybe 4500 by 4500, depending on how large the product was that I wanted to put it on in the end. So that's something to keep in mind when you're creating your own patterns. If you're interested in having me show you how to add this to a print-on-demand product through Redbubble, or a KDP product through Amazon, or digital papers and designs, just let me know in the comments below. Okay, that's it for today. I hope you have fun making your own patterns. See you next time. Bye.